Basically, you don't have to go buy a $25 Christmas wreath. All you need is a coat hanger, a little piece of chicken wire, some pruning shears, and you go out and cut yourself some greens and show you how to stick it in and make yourself a nice Christmas wreath. You need an assortment of greens. This is Fraser fir, spruce, some cedar. And notice the cedar has some juniper berries or cedar berries on there. They're nice. You get a nice variety. You want to add a little texture with some white pine. And then there's holly. We also have holly with berries. A little bit of boxwood. And the berries on the boxwood here, they have some nice dark colored berries. Those are pretty. And over here there's euonymus. So all of these different textures and colors, we mix them up and make a Christmas wreath. And to make your Christmas wreath, you're going to need some chicken wire or poultry netting. Us old timers, we call it chicken wire. You'll also need a coat hanger. Bend it into a circle, like I've done here. If you've got some gloves, use the gloves so you don't cut your hands. But what we're going to do is wrap the chicken wire and spiral it around the coat hanger that has been bent into a circle. And these edges are sharp. Make sure that you protect your hands and your eyes when you're doing this. Spiral it. You can straighten the circle out later if it gets misshapen. Just kind of crunch it down. It's nice to have a good pair of gloves. Or a fisherman. Fishermen don't need gloves, they have hands like leather anyway. Try to get it fairly uniform. Your sprigs ahead of time. You know, some of the sprigs are spindly like this. They don't have a lot of filler, so I just throw them aside. You want a full sprig. This is what you want, a nice sprig like this. You can tuck it in and it fills in your wreath. Very delicate, they're nice, but they're not really stiff. You want something stiff enough to hold up when you stick it in there to fill out the outside. I'm going around the outside edges first. This is on the inside, it shouldn't be there. You know, here's a nice full sprig. And I want to fill in, I got a little bit of a hole, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of a hole here. So you take and get this underneath here and work it in so it fills up that hole and gets a nice outside layer. That's kind of spindly. But I'm trying to hustle here so you can see how I fill it in. You see there's also a little bit of a hole back in here. I don't know if you can see it in the video. So we'll go in from behind and fill that in. Here's a real bulky piece. This is what you like. It's all about texture and a variety of greens. You don't want all the same thing. You can buy that at the store for $5-6. You know, I don't know. I'm starting to work on the inside. I've got the outside edge of this thing filled in pretty good. I'm starting to work on the inside. And it's a little bit tricky. You don't want to fill in the hole. You want to keep that circular wreath look. And again, in some places where I've crunched the wire too tight, I need to kind of pull it open with my fingers so I can get my twigs in amongst the strands of the wire. If you notice, this cedar is very bulky, and I can use it to fill in holes. And the berries add a nice touch. but it's important to have spread it out. You know, I have greens all over so that if I find something that I want to do, like there's a pretty big hole there, I can see the wire right there. So I'm going to cover that hole up with some cedar, kind of working in there. Okay, it's a round wreath. It has color, it has texture, it has interest in the different berries. We've got the holly, all the different types of greens, and that's a wreath. Let's get the bow on it now. Here's my bow. I like this bow. It's a little bit more colorful than just a plain old red bow. Figure out where the top is. Here's my top. So I want my bow somewhere on the bottom, but it doesn't have to be exactly on the bottom. So I'm going to offset my bow just a little bit, just to be different. I've wired it. There's two little wires here on the back. Stick the wires in through and wire it on the back, and it's good enough. You just kind of put it on there and wrap it. I spread it out. Most of these bows. Now I bought this down the Agway, that bow, and yeah, they're expensive. They're $3 or $4 or $5. They've got fancy ones for $20. Another thing I like to put in is a pine cone. I spray my pine cones with white paint, make it look like a little snow on there. It's just a little accent piece. Now I can hear the berries falling off this thing. This holly that I got probably isn't the best holly to put on there, but it's pretty. And that's it. My wreath is done. I'm going to hang it on the door, and then we're going to go look at it.